Welcome to Daily Lenten Reflections with Father Stephan Alexander and the Parish of St. Martin de Porres, Coryal. For these reflections, we're using the Ascension Lenten Companion. We invite you to journey with us throughout this Lenten season.
Face. And as they were coming down the mountain, he charged them to tell no one what they had seen until the Son of Man should have risen from the dead. Mark chapter 9 verse 9. Friday of the first week of Lent. Peter wanted to stay on top of the mountain, but Jesus knew that there was a greater good. And as they were coming down the mountain, he charged them to tell no one what they had seen until the Son of Man should have risen from the dead. Mark chapter 9 verse 9. They had to come down from the mountaintop. Notice that not only did they not stay on top of the mountain, but Jesus specifically points Peter, James, and John to the reality of his passion, death, and resurrection. With the reality of Jerusalem in front of him, Jesus intentionally leaves the comfort of the mountaintop so that he can teach his disciples how to face temptation and suffering. Jesus is teaching his apostles a valuable lesson when he comes down from the mountain. We need not be afraid to face temptation or suffering. In fact, temptation and suffering are necessary and expected parts of the spiritual life. Learning how to face temptation, as well as learning how to find God in our suffering, can actually be the classroom where we learn much about ourselves and life with God. For much of my life, I have felt helpless in the face of temptation and resistant to the reality of suffering. I have tended to struggle with the same sin over and over. I imagine that many of us, when we are faced with the temptation of this predominant sin, feel as if the battle is already over. Notice here that the lie packaged as the temptation itself is also coupled with another lie that sounds something like, "What is the point of trying to resist temptation? You have given in before, you will again. You can't do this on your own." As with yesterday, let's dissect the lure of this lie. What is the point of trying to resist temptation? You have given in before, you will again. For many of us, that is true. We have given in to this temptation before. The liar also whispers, "You can't do this on your own." Believe it or not, this is true. We are not able to resist temptation with our own strength. But this is the lie. We never have to face temptation on our own. God is with us at all times. He longs to be with us and to help us with His grace when we cannot do it on our own. When we are weak, we may not be able to summon our own strength. God is strong enough for us. When we cannot do it on our own, we can seek His help. When we are facing temptation, let's remember to look at the face of Jesus. He is facing the temptation with us. Going deeper. Once again, read Mark chapter 9 verses 2 to 10. Continue to become familiar with the text. Ask yourself, what word or phrase tugs at my heart as I read? Next, ask yourself, what is my attitude toward facing temptation? Do I really believe it is possible for me to resist?